Hello and welcome to a brief tutorial in Photoshop. This lesson will show you how to take a photograph, edit out some of the image, and actually compress the photograph so that it looks natural even though part of the background has been edited out. This particular tutorial uses very simple Photoshop methods and tools, and it asks you to analyze the photo before you actually do anything to it so that you know exactly what you're doing to it. I hope that you learned something from this lesson. Let's get started. So when I'm editing an image, the first thing I like to do is to zoom in on the image so that I can see the detail. In this case, it makes the image as large as the screen so that everything can be seen and easily worked on. In this case, to edit this image, I'm going to drag out a few guides from the side ruler so that it can assist me in knowing exactly where to select the areas that I'm going to edit. The whole point of this tutorial is to show how to take a photograph that's normally wide and then push the images together so that it's a narrower image or a little less wide, without distorting the background so that the viewer doesn't really understand that it's been edited. First thing I'm going to do after zooming in and putting the guides out is to turn the snap on. The snap allows a selection to snap to the edges and to snap to the guides. Snap is found under the View menu. So I'm going to take the rectangular ellipse and I'm going to capture the image on the left side of the photograph, and then I'm going to make a new layer under Layer, New, Layer via Copy. So what it's actually doing, the program is making a copy of just that image area in the photograph. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the guy on the right side of the photograph. I'm just going to select that area using the marquee again, and then I'm going to make a new layer with him, a copy also. So at this point I should have three layers. The background layer, which is going to be the full image that we've always seen, and then I'm going to have a left layer, or a layer with just the guy on the left and a layer with just the guy on the right. If I were to turn off the background layer, you would notice only the left and the right guy left in the image. The background is still there, it's just hidden at this point. Now I'm going to silhouette the right side of the left standing figure. I will select the polygon lasso and turn off the snap because I don't want my lasso to snap to that guide. I had observed earlier in the photograph where I want to edit out the background. So I've decided that I'm going to edit starting with the pole behind the guy's head, work my way down the pole, work around his shoulder, and then all the way down to his pant leg to the bottom of the picture. Then I'm going to go to the right. Then I'm going to bring my polygon up to the top of the picture and back to the pole where I started. That will close the selection, and it will turn the polygon lasso path into a selection. Once the path is made into a selection, all I have to do then is press the delete key and it will remove that background visibly. Since I'm working on a top layer, then I should be able to see what's behind that area once deleted. I would then remove the selection or dotted line by going to the Select menu and choosing Deselect, and then move on to the other figure on the right side of the screen. I had previously decided that I was going to start on the branch on the right side of the screen that is in the upper left corner of that section, simply because I want to overlap that branch with a branch that's going to be in the middle of the picture. So I would start my selection at the top of the picture, right on the left side of the branch, work my way down the branch as I'm doing now, then work my way around the guy's arm, around the elbow, down his waist, and then down to the bottom of his pants. Then, once again, I would go to the left, beyond the guide, all the way up to the top of the screen, and reconnect where I started the selection, so that then the lasso would turn into a selection, or the dotted line that's moving, and I could delete the background from that area. As you can see, this is a pretty simple process. It's just it's a little work, but other than that, it's not bad. There's one area that still needs to be taken out of the picture, and that is that small space right by the guy's head on the right. And the reason that I want to take out that V-shaped space is simply because I want it to look even more realistic, having that lone branch overlap the middle picture. So I'm going to use the cursor and the lasso, polygon lasso, in that V shape of those two branches right above the guy's head, and take out that small space in there. So I'm going to just simply close the shape and then hit delete, and it should disappear. So at this point, once I deselect the selection, I can actually start to move the picture around. So I'm going to turn on the background, and I'm going to select one of the guys, the one on the right, the left. I'm going to hold down the shift key, which restrains the movement from left to right rather than up and down, push him a little closer to the middle, and I'm going to do the same thing with the guy on the left. I'm going to hold down the shift key, which constrains the movement from left to right, push him in, and then I'm going to use the cropping tool to crop out the background that I really do not need. So the snap is turned on, so the crop snaps to the edges, and I just double click on the cropping area, which crops the photo down to its components. Now I'm flattening the image to get rid of all of the layers, so it's just one layer now, it's no longer three. And I'm going to use the type tool to click on the guy and type in a name. In your case, it would be your name. I'm just typing your name actually as an example, and I'm changing the color to something that can be seen against his dark shirt, which is going to be white in this case. So now there's two layers again, a type layer and a picture layer. I'm going to the layer menu and flattening that image. And at this point, the only thing I have left to do is to save the image. I'm going to save it to my computer, wherever you normally save your images. I'm going to give it a new name. In this case, I think the best name to give it would be 3 Guys dash and then put your name, because that way it distinguishes it from everybody else. And once again, you can save it wherever you'd like to save it. Save it as a JPEG rather than a Photoshop image. And when you click save, it's going to allow you to adjust the sensitivity of the file itself, the compression. I usually save a file like this as JPEG baseline 10 out of 12 and click OK. At this point, we are literally finished with the tutorial, and we are finished with the picture. Please email me the picture so that I have a copy of it and I can give you a grade. Thank you. Bye.